There is no doubt the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally brings a lot of good to the area, especially from a tourism and economic standpoint.
But when you have a sudden massive increase in population, there's the potential for unsavory and illegal behavior. One issue that's been making headlines throughout the state recently is the battle against human trafficking. And with the rally right around the corner, the battle has come to the Black Hills.
What we know is that sex sells, and we know that where there's a market for something, that people will exploit that market.
Certainly the rally brings a lot of positive things to the Black Hills, but with it comes some bad people.
You just bring a lot of disposable income into an economy over a short period of time, and there's opportunity to make money there.
We have over 100,000 children in the United States that are trafficked each year.
It's a global problem, and despite many misconceptions, it does happen here in South Dakota, human trafficking. The 2013 annual report coming out of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of South Dakota shows since 2009, the office has been involved in 23 sex trafficking cases. The U.S. Attorney has worked closely with South Dakota Attorney General Marty Jackley in prosecuting some of these cases and with lawmakers in getting new laws passed and funding sources made available. With the help of South Dakota's Internet Crimes Unit, traffickers are often caught through online advertising.
We've run these sting operations across South Dakota. They've been run in Watertown, Sioux Falls, Rapid City during the Sturgis Rally. Now that the South Dakota legislature has given the ability for us to take assets and profits from this illegal activity, that will provide additional funding for more operations that will hopefully remove sexual predators off the streets before they harm young children.
At the national level, U.S. Representative Kristi Noem has made this fight a key issue. In May, the House passed one of the most comprehensive packages of bills in recent decades to allocate more resources for survivors. And just last week, representatives passed an additional bill written by Noem called the Human Trafficking Prevention, Intervention, and Recovery Act. This bill opens existing grant programs to shelters looking to help trafficking survivors.
We certainly are doing all we can at the federal level to make sure we have the tools in place, but we are working with the state legislature to get our state laws in place that would give us some more tools to utilize.
Noem points out, while South Dakota has a number of domestic violence shelters and outreach centers, most are not trained to handle the challenges trafficking victims face.
We need to be on guard and be doing all we can to thwart their efforts, but it's an everyday battle. It's not something that we can forget about once the rally is passed.
That's where the organization Working Against Violence Incorporated comes into play. This month, the Rapid City-based group has played host to the co-founder and executive director of Free International, a Las Vegas-based group that focuses on putting a stop to trafficking and putting victims on a better path. Michael Bartel is teaching these workers how to recognize and approach possible victims. For the past several years, he's worked with cities hosting the Super Bowl, and with several 100,000 coming to western South Dakota next week, his focus is now here.
You just bring a lot of disposable income into an economy over a short period of time, and there's opportunity to make money there. You know, whether you're a business, or whether you're a pimp, or whether, you know, you're just looking to capitalize and save some money in other areas on the labor side of things. It's just, you know, sometimes looking to cut corners and make extra money comes on the backs of those who are being exploited.
And the best way to fight and prevent this?
Awareness is going to be the first thing, so that we can teach our kids how to be smart, we can teach our parents how to keep an eye on their kids.
Seeing the lack of resources in this area, Tess Franzen started the West River Human Trafficking Task Force. The group is less than a year old, but assisted in getting this billboard placed along Interstate 90. It's meant to act as a resource for victims and just get people talking about the issue.
It's like bullying, where bullying is getting so much attention. We need to raise the awareness so that it can be addressed and prevented.
Advocates like Franzen say a lot of times trafficking victims are forced into prostitution, shoplifting, and drug and alcohol addictions are fueled, so it's not unusual for these victims to face charges themselves. That's why there is much work on creating what are called safe harbor laws, which allow some degree of forgiveness for minor crimes committed by trafficking victims and allow them to more easily move forward with their lives. Now, if you ever see any suspicious behavior that you believe may be related to trafficking, contact your local police or the National Trafficking Hotline at 888-373-7888.